So we are back. We're talking about Rebellion. Full thumbs up one.
Yep. It was a pretty decent pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, there were some really good matches, and then there was some stuff that I was like,
meh.
So Ultimate X. For the Impact World Tag Team Champions, we have ABC taking on the Motor City Machine Guns in Ultimate... Did I say Ultimate X already?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I've seen better Ultimate X's,
yep, so
but it was still a good match.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a full thumbs up.
Yeah, me too.
Barely.
Yeah.
The structure was kind of weird. I can't even recall when they made this an Ultimate X match. Maybe emphasize what Ultimate X is during the pay-per-view, a little bit during the show.
I'm sure that they did, but you probably just missed it.
I feel like I did.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if I did because I didn't watch last week's show,
right.
the show before the pay-per-view.
Right.
So I don't know.
Right.
But I thought, I hope the Motor City Machine Guns can kind of cool off from being in the title picture for now because they just lost the strong open-weight tag team champions. Right. I'm kind of sick of them with the belts. I kind of want ABC to go into a new rivalry with some new people. You're always going to have the Guns as great tag team rivalry with ABC. But let's try something new. Right. Because it's starting to get a little repetitive, and I've been not a fan of it, How do I make this majestic again? There's not really anything. As long as they stop the rivalry and move on to another.
I feel like they are.
I hope they do. Maybe Heath and Rhino. They're a babyface team. They're popular with the crowd.
But who knows?
Who knows? If I see this match again, I'm gonna be upset. So, in the 6-man tag, it was Dirty Dango, Joe Hendry, and Santino Marella taking on Angels, Diener, Callihan, and Khan of the Design in a 4-on-3 handicap match.
This was a very interesting setup. I did not...
I thought Callihan betraying him got a huge pop, and I'm happy about that because I thought legitimately Callihan was going to be a member of the Design.
Right.
I kind of wish he was, and then betray. Just like what happened with Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, exactly.
When he was joined with the Wyatt family.
Right.
It's like, I know that he was going through the initiation. Have him finish the initiation and then betray the Design.
Exactly. That was kind of weird.
That would have worked so much better. Yeah. Other than this,
it felt kind of rushed.
It did. It really did.
And I think they did that because, I wonder if the plan was for them to wait, but then they have to kind of build some new stars because, of course, they're losing a lot of their stars. So put Diener on a different level, make him into the main event picture a little bit quicker by going into this high profile.
I kind of wish he did. I kind of wish he did win. Santino Marella. It would have been really cool if Diener beat Santino in this match, and then put Diener on a different level, given the circumstance. Put him in a high profile. I guess now with Callihan, who's already an established main eventer, they're going to have a high profile rivalry.
That's what Diener needs right now.
Yeah, but he needs to win the rivalry. Right. That's the difference. Diener has to start winning the rivalries for people to take him seriously in that spot. They want to put him in that spot, but we need to feel that he deserves to be in the spot. And right now, I'm not seeing it. He lost to the Cobra.
Right. And of course, this was all because of the nostalgia of Santino Marella being on TV.
Well, Santino Marella wanted to wrestle in front of his kid and all that fun stuff.
It was whatever.
They were in Canada. The babyfaces win. The match was structured fine. Maybe if it wasn't a handicap match, it kind of made all the design look like a bunch of dorks. Yeah. But whatever. It's fine. It was all right. So, last rites match. Eddie Edwards, PCO. I liked this match.
Yeah, so did I. I was very entertained by this match.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Because usually Eddie Edwards matches are just the same, but this one felt different.
Yep.
It felt like they were actually mad at each other.
Right.
PCO dislocating his shoulder, and he goes out of the ring and just slams his arm back into place. That was awesome. That's the kind of stuff that got PCO over.
Right.
He's just a brute. He is Frankenstein.
Right.
Eddie Edwards selling everything perfectly, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Alicia doing a great job in her role as a heel. The match stipulation was exactly what it needed to be.
Absolutely.
They gave this plenty of time. They gave it some breathing room, and the right person won. So I'm super stoked about this match.
What do you give this match rating?
You know what? I'm gonna give it a 2.
Yep, I was on the fence. I was gonna, it was like really close to 2. I'm like, you know what? I'm able to just give it a 2 thumbs up. It was an excellent match.
It exceeded my expectations
for last
very well.
Right.
Both of guys looked like stars.
Yep.
Great ending to the rivalry. Everything just worked here, and I'm so happy about that because this was the match I was worried about. Triple threat match for the X Division champion: Trey, Miguel, Speedball, Mike Bailey, Jonathan Gresham. Elimination chamber match.
Or it was an elimination match.
Yeah, it's an elimination chamber.
Yep, you did.
My brain went somewhere else. Elimination match, X Division champion. The match itself was fine.
Yeah, it was structured kind of weird, but
it was really weird.
Yeah.
The pacing was doing this the entire time.
Yep.
And I hate saying that because I like all 3 guys. I mean, Trey Miguel as a heel is on a different level. Jonathan Gresham is great, and Mike Bailey is great, but I feel like Mike Bailey and Jonathan Gresham need to be in that main event level at this point because them just going for the X Division champion again, kind of a downgrade.
Yeah, and it really just depends on what's going on with the main event scene because the main event scene is kind of in flux right now with, obviously with Josh Alexander no longer being there.
Right.
So it's just kind of weird, and I just think they're trying to make some last-minute changes.
Now, do you think this was their attempt to put over the X Division Championship as a credible title again? But the issue is that it just did not hit the mark.
I don't know.
The way to do that is if you have a former world champion go for the X Division champion, like what Samoa Joe did. That's when it was at its highest elevation when they were putting it in the main event.
Right.
Trey Miguel's a great champion, but he needs some high-profile rivalries at this point because, his X Division title reign's starting to peter a little bit, and it shouldn't be that way. Anyway, it was a Meteora to Gresham to eliminate him, and then it was a roll-up with tights to eliminate Mike Bailey. At least Trey won with shenanigans, so it keeps him
strong.
It keeps him strong as a heel, and it's like they have done well with him as a heel, but he's got to do something a little bit different to maybe not salvage the reign, but kind of put it into the next gear. It's on second gear, and it hasn't really moved from that gear,
Yep.
So this was Hardcore War.
I did not like the placement of this match. I thought it was very odd that they put this match in the actual card as opposed to like the Women's Tag Team Championship match or something like that.
You would have had this on the pre-show?
I might have.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the rivalry was there for it to be here. Maybe penultimate. But this one was just kind of weird. So, it was Moose and Frankie Kazarian to start off. Brian Myers, Bhupinder Gujjar, Kenny King, Killer Kelly, Masha Slamovich, Yuya Uemura, Bully Ray, and finally Tommy Dreamer. It was Hardcore War.
Right. It was a spot fest.
You go into it expecting brutality and all of the fun carnage, and it's exactly what it was.
Right.
It was a fun hardcore match. I liked this match. I thought it made sense in context, and nobody looked bad.
No, but it was just kind of weird to just mush all of these rivalries together and just call it a day.
Yeah, I mean they built it quite well. That's the thing, and that's kind of why I am going to agree to disagree on that because I did like how they kind of set everybody up in this. The Good Hands were originally going to be in this match with Brian Myers and Moose replacing them. I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
It was a kind of a weird choice.
Yep.
I think the Good Hands would have probably been better suited in this match in general.
Yeah, because they're aligned with Bully Ray.
Right. But they were taken out. Even though they were there, they did stuff, but they just weren't there.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. A weird choice of replacement.
Yep, and it was a Superfly splash on Bully Ray through a table for Tommy Dreamer to win. Obviously, babyfaces had to win.
Yeah.
Duh. It's Hardcore War. It is what it is. There's not really anything I would have done to make this more majestic because I'm not sure what I would have done.
Thumb rating?
I'm going to give it a full. I'm going
to give it an Orange Cassidy thumbs up.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's not for everybody. Steve Maclin and Kushida for the vacant Impact World Champion. This is when Nick Aldis came out, announced that he signed with Impact Wrestling, and obviously he's going to be going for the Impact World Champion. Great signing.
Yep.
And I think them putting him back into the main event spot is the right call.
Yep, absolutely.
Despite what people might think, it's like, oh, he just came back. He doesn't deserve it. I think he does.
Mm-hmm.
He has the name power. He has everything. He's a former champion.
Yep.
He'll be fine.
Much needed injection after Josh Alexander left. That's
well,
for sure.
it's not left. He's
but
hurt.
He's hurt, right? But he won't be around for a while,
right? I mean, it's definitely a bad injury that he had.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Steve Maclin was going to win this match anyway. He was going to beat Josh Alexander. Kushida being in this match. I know that he needed the world title match because he was going to face Alexander at
not Showcase.
Multiverse United.
Multiverse, right.
So maybe in his contract he was going to go for the belt anyway.
Yeah.
But that was a non-canon show, so I don't think that it should have been Kushida. Maybe a couple of wins on television kind of put him over as a credible threat to the main event scene.
But, I
mean, this was the christening for Steve Maclin.
Yeah.
It was a good match. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it was.
It was a KIA for Maclin to win. I really like this stuff with Scott D'Amore. Even though I'm usually not a fan of an authority figure being in a rivalry, they are doing this right.
They're doing it pretty well. They're not like excellent at it, but they're doing pretty well.
Well, they don't want to overdo it with what they did with the authority here.
Exactly.
And I think they're doing it in the right way for the most part.
Right.
But Steve Maclin is the Impact World Champion. If you told me 5 years ago that out of the Forgotten Son, Steve Maclin was going to be the guy, I probably would have laughed in your face.
Yeah.
But Maclin did it.
There he is.
He proved people wrong. He improved in the ring. His promo stuff is good.
Mm-hmm.
I like the character. It's really come out nicely. And then what are the other two doing? One of them is wrestling for Jesus in front of 3 people, and I have no clue what Wesley Blake is doing. So there you go. We have our next contender with all this. We have our new champion with Maclin, and we have this rivalry with Scott D'Amore.
Well, I think they're waiting for Aldis for the next actual pay-per-view. I think his next opponent is PCO.
That's right, yeah.
Because they're still in Canada, so that would be a good get for someone from Canada to actually be in the world title match. That's why they're doing it.
That's right. I've totally forgot that PCO is the next contender. I think they're doing that at Under Siege.
Yes,
I think that's next month.
Yes.
So.
Yep.
They're waiting for the pay-per-view.
They're waiting for Bound for Glory or something.
But now Aldis can be in rivalries with other people to put him back into the eyes of that fan base and maybe bring up some new people, like Trey Miguel, for instance.
Right.
I think that would be a great rivalry, but we got to get the X Division champion off of Trey.
Right. So anyways, let's move on to the main event.
Main event. Jordynne Grace versus Deonna Purrazzo for the vacant Impact Knockouts World Champion. The match was good. Purrazzo, though, I'm kind of in a weird boat as it relates to Purrazzo winning this title. Not that she doesn't deserve it. She's a great wrestler, and she and Grace had a good match here. But Purrazzo has been off of the world title scene for so long. I kind of wanted more integration in front of Mickie James before this. Right. Jordynne Grace already had the opportunity, so this was her contractual rematch.
Right.
But with Purrazzo, she won a number 1 contenders match, but at the same time, that almost felt like that was it.
Right.
So just kind of a weird spot for her.
Well, I think it was weird because Mickie James' situation, I think, kind of overshadowed whatever rivalry would have potentially been going on here just because we don't know what's going on. And, of course, it being Mickie James' retirement tour, more or less, she,
Do you know the extent of her injury?
No, I do not.
Because, it's been very
But technically, she hasn't lost the match, so... She hasn't lost the match, technically, so there we go.
She hasn't lost the match?
No, she hasn't lost the match. Remember, the next match that she loses is going to be a retirement match.
Technically, yes.
So that leaves the door open for a return for her. So I actually think that the injury was I don't want to say it was a good thing that she got injured, but I think it's good for the women's division as a whole to kind of be out from under that shadow.
Right,
Mickey James has.
Mickey James does have a big shadow,
yeah.
and I mean the knockouts division is super strong right now. They have a lot of great
and they
wrestlers.
have a lot of great people who are coming up as well, and we just need to give them those opportunities.
Right, and maybe because Jordynne is doing her bodybuilding,
right.
So maybe she just wanted to get this match out of the way so she can continue to pursue that for at least a little bit longer.
Right.
But Purrazzo, I guess, would be the next legitimate person to have the championship. So, I don't know. It's kind of a mixed bag for me. It was Queen's Gambit, by the way. And I'm going to give this one a full thumbs up.
Yep, so am I.
Like, that's kind of where I am. So, that was the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope they follow up this show quite well. Well, they did already.
Yeah.
So, hopefully we'll continue to Under Siege quite well. I love it when they go to that one nightclub. It always looks great.
Yeah.
Just visually, it looks fantastic.
Yep.
So, overall, I thought it was a good rebellion.
Yeah.
Now, when we come back, we were going to be talking about this next week, but because we just wanted to get caught up, we decided to cover it now.
Yep.
So, we're going to be talking about All-Star Grand Queendom from Stardom.